You sit down to do something simple, just one task. 5 minutes later, you're checking your phone. Then a random thought hits you. Then another. Now it's been 40 minutes and you haven't even started. If this feels deeply familiar, it's probably not because you're lazy. You might be experiencing something much deeper. Imagine your brain is a web browser. Most people have maybe 5 or 6 tabs open at a time. Someone with ADHD, they have 47. 3 of them are playing different music, one is frozen, and they have no idea where the sound is coming from. That's what it feels like inside their head. It's not that you can't think, it's that you can't stop thinking. Research points to differences in something called the brain's default mode network. This is the system in charge of mind wandering, which means even when you try to nail your focus to one spot, your brain is already off exploring somewhere else. And this leads to the biggest misunderstanding about ADHD. It is not a lack of attention, it's inconsistent attention. Because the same person who can't focus on a work email for 10 minutes can suddenly become completely absorbed for 6 hours straight. This is called hyperfocus. It's the reason someone with ADHD can ignore a looming deadline but memorize every detail about a new random interest overnight. This isn't about discipline, it's about brain chemistry, specifically how the brain processes dopamine. Studies suggest ADHD brains have lower baseline dopamine levels, so they are constantly scanning the horizon for something stimulating. Your brain is essentially saying, boring, mundane task? No thank you. A fascinating, novel challenge? Let's go all in. Your brain isn't broken, it's just highly selective. Now, let's talk about that feeling of being stuck. Procrastination. You know exactly what you need to do. You genuinely want to do it, but somehow you just don't. And then the guilt sets in, which makes you avoid it even more. Your brain says, let's do this later, but later never seems to arrive. Psychologists call this task paralysis. It's linked to executive function, the part of your brain that acts as the ignition switch for starting tasks. So when you can't start, it's not laziness, it's like trying to turn the key in a car that has no ignition. And the internal world can be even more turbulent. People with ADHD don't just think a lot, they overthink, replaying conversations, analyzing every little interaction, constantly questioning themselves. And because consistency is such a struggle, a harmful narrative can take root. Why can't I just be normal? This can develop into something called rejection sensitivity, where even small criticisms feel intensely personal and painful. Over time, the struggle stops being about focus and starts about how you see yourself. According to the CDC, millions of adults have ADHD, and many are never diagnosed. Instead, they grow up being told they're lazy or distracted or just not trying hard enough. But here's the part that often gets missed. That same brain, the one with all the tabs open, is also wired for incredible creativity, for fast thinking, for generating a constant stream of ideas. When your brain is always making connections in the background, you start to see patterns and possibilities that others don't. It's chaotic, yes, but it's also powerful. The problem isn't the brain, it's living in a world built for a different kind of mind. A world built for linear structure often misunderstands a brain built for exploration. So, if you've ever felt like you can't focus, like you start things you never finish, like your mind is a storm that never calms, maybe you're not broken. Maybe your brain just works differently. And once you begin to understand that, you can stop fighting against it and start working with it. And if any of this felt a little too real, you are not alone.